you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Doing excellent. How are you guys doing?
Good. I saw a story that was just absolutely ridiculous. I thought we would start with it, get it out of the way. And it kind of makes me angry because whenever I troll people, no one bites anymore. So I was trying to troll Leaf fans the other day by saying that McDavid and Matthews were hooking up in Toronto, and Matthews was trying to, McDavid was trying to convince Matthews to come to Edmonton. No one bit. Anyway, one guy. Yeah. Anyway, but this story kind of made me angry. Oilers made a big mistake not trading for Erik Karlsson. Like, that wasn't even a conversation. Like, there was no possibility that was going to work.
Yeah, like, the math just doesn't work. It's like, okay, I could wish that Miranda Kerr would appear at my door, and that would be fantastic. But unfortunately, reality does step in at some point, and it just wasn't going to work. Like, I do give Kyle Dubas and the Pittsburgh Penguins all kinds of credit for making it work, and they actually ended up clearing cap space somehow. But if you look at the magnitude of that trade and all the pieces moving around between the three teams, it is a monster deal. Yeah. So to get Erik Karlsson into Edmonton, what would they have had to give up to clear the space and to satisfy the needs? And they need draft picks, but they're kind of shy on some of them in some areas, and they don't want to spend them now. So I would have loved Erik Karlsson. I really would have. But the possibility of landing him just seemed impossible, especially after getting Matthias Ekholm last year at the trade deadline. The Oilers are so up against the cap. They still don't have Bouchard signed. It was just the last thing that was going to happen.
I will say this as a hockey fan, though. It'll be fun to watch him play with Crosby.
Sure, 100%.
Yeah. You know what? I think as a hockey fan, you got to be pleased with that deal and how it all worked out. I'm going to tell a quick...
I think that's it's a good thing for for Sid too. Like he's he's in the back nine of his career and he still wants to be competitive, and obviously that's the direction the Penguins want to go. They're getting older, but adding Karlsson is going to be a boost. They missed the playoffs last year, so they had to do something. They had to make a splash, and hopefully they get back in with Karlsson.
I'm going to tell a quick little story, and there's a point to it. When I worked in Winnipeg, we don't need to name any names or anything like that, but we had a boss that had this thing, we called it the mattress fund. And the reason why he had a mattress fund was because every time head office gave us money for anything, it would quickly get taken back because somebody in Toronto or a larger market was failing and needed the money. So we never got to spend any money on promotion at our radio station, right? We'd get $250,000. And then a month later, they would call. And actually, at the time, too, I actually called out one of the head guys in the company. And if anybody knows the Howard Stern story, his nickname in the Howard Stern story was Pig Vomit. So I called out Pig Vomit in a meeting and got the death stare.
That guy specifically?
Yeah. That guy specifically. Really? I called him out for taking our money every year. But the boss had this thing called the mattress fund. And he threatened me with my life multiple times to never tell anybody about the mattress fund. Now, here's what the mattress fund was. If we ever really wanted to do anything, he had money that he was hiding from the company. And occasionally he would slip us a couple of bucks to do something. Right? And he would just go, don't say anything. This is from the mattress fund. Now, the reason I bring the mattress fund up is because I still think to this day that most companies, including sports organizations, have things like a mattress fund where maybe we're having a little trouble nailing down that Bouchard deal and he ends up with a new hot tub at his house.
I'd love to know that kind of stuff too. I think about it all the time. Like even as an example, like you look at the deal that Messi signed in the MLS, where he's getting a chunk of like Apple TV revenue or whatever it is and merch sales. I'm like, come on, NHL, like just give Connor a percentage of the concessions or something. Like I don't know. I'll spend $40 on 20 cents worth of popcorn if I know Connor's getting a piece of the deal and it's going to help him stick here. I wish there was some of that, but I agree. I'd like to see what's showing up at Evan Bouchard's house, judging by the look of him, by the character, by the nickname that we call him Dad, and the fact that he's in his 20s, but he looks 45. He's got a new lawnmower shows up, a fresh pair of cargo shorts, some nice New Balances, all those things.
Yeah.
I love mattress fun. And by the way, the pig virus thing is awesome.
Yeah.
Pig vomit.
Yeah. It was the guy, he ended up getting fired from that. I think Howard got him fired and he came to Canada. And so we worked with him for a cup of coffee. Well, it was a cup of coffee for me. I didn't last long in that building.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Bouchard thing is going to come down the pipe this week?
Whether or not it's this week or it's coming. Yeah. It's just a matter of where it lands. It's funny that we Oilers fans are kind of like, where's the Bouchard thing? And I said it earlier this morning, and I'm going to do a podcast later on Better Late Than Never. I'm going to talk about it again, but there's still 2 months left to go. So am I worried about it now? If it happens this week, great. I'd love the page views on OilersNation.com, but if it happens next week, okay. It gives us something to talk about while it's lingering. My guess is it comes in somewhere around 3.75 to 3.9 over 2 years. Get the deal done. The Oilers signed Brandon Sutter to a PTO yesterday, so they're still operating as if, that they're going to have a little bit of space. So we'll see where it lands.
You like that Sutter signing?
I love PTOs because it creates competition in camp, and whether or not he amounts to anything, because he hasn't played in the NHL in 2 years.
Yeah.
Whether or not it amounts to anything is almost irrelevant. I like that there are more guys pushing for jobs and they're hungry, and that the Oilers aren't just gifting out spots anymore. I really like that. So we say PTO everyone at OilersNation.com. So we'll see what else is coming. But yeah, for the depth and the competition, I do like the Brandon Sutter PTO.
I like that take on PTOs. That's a unique way of looking at it, right? Like, you need someone to light a fire. And if you got a guy that is, struggling to get back in the league or whatever the case might be, never made the money he thought he should have made in the NHL when he was at his height, and then he's taken another run at it. Yeah, he's given the kids a bit of something to think about.
You got a kid like Raphael Lavoie, right? And some people kind of have him penciled in on the right side because he's a cheap deal. He's a young guy. He has to clear waivers, had a good year in the AHL last year. But now you have some veteran players that have been there before that are going to be fighting for jobs. And I think it's better for everyone if there's competition. So more PTOs, Oilers, bring them all in.
Oilers Nation golf tournament, couple of spots left. We should make sure that we mention that. You guys take singles too. That came up last week.
Yeah, the Oilers Nation Open is coming up on September 1st. So that's the Friday leading into the long weekend. We are almost sold out. This thing sells out every year. We've got a small handful of teams left and a handful of singles, but yeah, the singles is where it's at. If you want to come golf with us and you don't necessarily have a group of 4 or 3 buddies that want to join you on that specific day, just sign up as a single. We find that we call them mosaic teams because we just put random people together.
Yeah.
We find that the mosaic teams, those guys end up having the best time because they're all there for the same thing. They don't really care about who wins. They'd like to win, sure, but they're there for the party and the fun. So we have a lot of guys that end up as a single team, come back as just a group of 4 the next year because they have a blast. So nationgear.ca is where you sign up. We're going to raise some money for Gregor's Grads. It's a great charity, so it's going to be a great day. So that's coming up on September 1st.
There he is, Baggedmilk, Oilers Nation. As always, thank you for your time, my friend.
Last thing I want to mention, if you don't mind, Locke, is watch out for us. We're launching our travel soon. So we're going to be doing some vacations next season. So watch out for that. Those are launching right away.
Okay, yeah. And those sell out quickly as well. So
100%.
Yeah. You got to get on those on the front end. It's usually a pretty decent deal. And you guys go to some cool games and cool venues. All right.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Baggedmilk, thank you.
Thanks, boys.
The Locker Room for Arden Roof Systems. Weekday mornings on 95.7 Cruise FM.